Let me paint the picture for you. So, when I was solo traveling, remote working, I specifically remember a time when I was in Vienna, Austria. And one of my favorite things that I did was get a scooter and just ride around the city. I remember that I had a playlist that I would listen to, and that playlist just was so fun to listen to when I was scootering. And one of those songs that I continue to play over and over was Alien Boy. And I have never felt so seen before. I remember just playing it on repeat. I remember coming home because I had to work late at night because California hours, and I was in Europe, and just, doing my work. But also when I had extra time, I would watch all of Oliver Tree's music videos while I was doing illustrations for fun. I even did an illustration of a scooter because I was just enjoying scootering so much in Europe. And the thing about him is he is an artist. And after finding out about his death, I actually still am in shock to this day. But I began listening to his music. I watched tons of videos about what happened because I have been so confused about the entire thing. And listening to interviews, listening to his music, I felt like I want to make a video, not talking about any controversies or what happened, but I want to make a video about him as an artist and as a person, to share his story, because he moved me as a person. And I honestly think that by me sharing who he was and sharing his art, and also by me embracing my insane alien self and dressing weirder and weirder because of him, I know that would make him happy, because I too was an alien girl and I related so much to his music. I love his music so much. So I thought it would be great to talk about him as an artist, his style. With me being a graphic designer of over 10 years and an illustrator, I went to a really great art school in San Francisco. I've traveled all around Europe. I've been to many museums. I even wrote my first children's book last year. I am a very, very visual person, and I really want to talk about all of the worlds that Oliver Tree created. Because especially as a man, he created an entirely new character, an entirely new world for every single album. And to me, that's kind of something that women tend to do. But I love that he did it, because I want more men and women to feel free to dress crazy, to act weird, to be silly, to be goofy. I just want everyone to just feel free. And if they want to wear green alien makeup, and if they want to wear their own alien antennas and actually show themselves to the world, then they should. And my goal is to inspire you to do it too. Because if you're watching this video, I know that you're grieving Oliver Tree. I'm grieving Oliver Tree. And the only thing that I can truly do is be an artist and express myself to hopefully inspire you to also express yourself in your own unique way. Oliver Tree always considered himself as a filmmaker first and a musician second. He would focus on the scenes, the sets, the designs, and then when he had time, he would work late at night on the music. As a visual person, I can 100% see that he puts so much time and effort and thought into every single one of his music videos. And I really actually think that his music videos were the reason why I just fell in love with his music. If you haven't seen his music videos, you have to watch it because for me, it's just very pleasing to the eye as a designer. Okay, so let's get into each of his albums, or as Oliver Tree calls it, the Oliverse. But first, I'm going to take a sip of both of my drinks, which is very human-like to do. Just having my yellow goo and a glass of wine, because here's to you, Oliver. I think most people would know Oliver Tree for his first album, and every single album he actually had a character. For the first album, his character's name was Turbo. He was an obnoxious, angry kid in really big denim pants with a pinkish purple jacket and that bowl cut. We all know that bowl cut, as well as red sunglasses. He was so distinct about what he would wear and look like for each era. And in a sense, this album, which is called Ugly is Beautiful, was the one that really got him on the map. There were many memes made out of him, and in my opinion, I actually do like that album the best. I felt so much of his emotions in that album, especially in the music videos. I love how expressive he is all the time. Like when he's singing, he's like, "Don't fret, I don't ever like." He's like, I can feel his emotions when he sings. And that is another reason why I just love him so much. But this character, Turbo, this character was made from his teen isolation, feeling like he didn't fit in. Also, it was around him scootering because he was doing all these scooter competitions and just kind of not really fitting in. Gonna have another drink to that one. So his next album was called Cowboy Tears, and the character's name was Shawney Bravo. I'm gonna guess that's from Johnny Bravo. If you don't know, it's a show that was on Cartoon Network. But this world was, he was a cowboy, and he had long blonde hair with his signature bangs. And this album was a bit more on the country side, but I still would not call it country at all. It was its own genre, just like how Oliver Tree is his own genre. Or I guess we could say he was alt pop, alternative rock. I also very, very much love this album. I don't know why, but I love the song Doormat. I have probably played that one the most on that album, but I love Freaks and Geeks. It has that alien boy vibe. Like he sings it for the freaks and geeks. He sings it for the ones who don't fit in. Like us, we don't fit in. We're the freaks and the geeks. I love Cowboy Tears, and I love the music videos. They're just hilarious. It puts me in a good mood to watch it. And then for his last album, which is Alone in a Crowd, his character is named Cornelius Cummings, and he is a fashion designer. And of course he has the bowl cut, but it's more like a bob, which really looks hilarious on him. And this purple and blue neon jacket. And I totally see this character. It's kind of like this uptight, like, fashion guy. Like, ew, that outfit sucks. Like, I'm so posh and I'm a Cornelius, you know? Which is funny. I will admit, I did not listen to this one as much. I've listened to some. I do like the song Bounce. I like the song Miss You by Robin Schultz. I thought the music video was pretty interesting. I would say that his music video style is somewhat similar to Little Big. Little Big is actually even more kookier and crazy, and I love Little Big so much. And funny enough, Little Big and Oliver Tree made a song together called The Internet, which is also great. But he has an entire world for each album. He also has a continuous thread through each album. And what is it? That bang haircut seems to follow through each album. It's almost like he's signing each album with his bangs, and it is just so recognizable when he does it. All right, now let's talk about his final album. Every album before was a new character, a new mask, a new theme. But this album was different. This album was fully his own label, with no one to answer, no specific character to play. He called it Love You Madly, Hate You Badly. Love as two opposite things at once. Every relationship, he said, is a car crash in slow motion. Worshipping someone 1 second, then wondering how you share the same air next. The same truth he chased since Ugly is Beautiful. He spent over 2 years making this album. He recorded it across all 7 continents in 82 countries. He even made a really funny documentary about it in Antarctica. And I watched this documentary. It is so freaking hilarious. Like, it was not high budget, but the humor was so spot on. And let me tell you, I could feel my creative juices flowing just watching this. So I highly recommend watching that documentary. I will share a link below. But for the first time, no one was telling him what to make. This was all him. And he was ready for the biggest tour of his life, first world tour, with over 30 countries and all 7 continents. He was only able to do 4 shows because on June 14th, that was when he died in the helicopter crash in Rio de Janeiro. His next stop would have been Lisbon, Portugal, literally where I am right now, which honestly gives me chills. Let's get into this. So let's talk about him before all of his personas and albums and just a kid growing up. So Oliver Tree was born Oliver Tree Nickel, and his parents were actually in a circus called the Pickle Family Circus. Nah, just kidding. It literally says circus performers on his actual Wikipedia page. So I'm just gonna pretend that his parents were actually circus performers. I am so similar. I can relate to that because I have been doing aerial silks for 5 years, and I would do trapeze. I did Chinese pole. I used to go to the circus center, and I am a huge circus lover. I've performed on aerial silks like 3 times. So honestly, I've always told myself I would love to run away with a circus. He was surrounded by music all of the time. Guitar, piano, and he was playing instruments like when he was 3 years old. He was writing songs by the age of 4, and he made an entire album by the age of 6. I can't even imagine doing that now in my 30s. Maybe I could. His parents were trippy Burning Man type of people, and I think that's why I liked him actually, because I grew up in Well, I am from Hawaii, but I lived in San Francisco from the ages 18 to 27. So basically the time of my life where I am learning to be an adult and also get wasted and party and make a lot of mistakes and learn about who I am. I understood that whole Cali vibe. I went to tons of music festivals. I wish that I went to Burning Man, but I did more like outside lands. I went to a lot of dubstep concerts, a lot of EDM stuff. I mean, San Francisco just has so many good artists all of the time. It's insane. But his parents were kind of like hippies, and I know those people because I lived in San Francisco, which at the time was very hippie-centric. Now it's very tech bro and crazy poor people because the gap is so big. When I was there, it was amazing, more hippie vibes, art scene type of thing. And him and his parents, they go to Burning Man every year because they're burners. So he would go with his parents, and he made some special brownies LSD laced brownies, to be exact. He made a mistake. He ended up eating 8 brownies, which were twice dose. So it was about 16 doses that he did that night. He basically lost his mind in a sense. He ran out of the festival, started taking all of his clothes off, digging in the ground, like just like I feel like he was like, this is the end kind of thing. He said that he witnessed his death. He died because he was doing too much drugs, and he actually was a drug addict and was kicked out of his home for doing too much drugs. But after that entire experience, he realized that music and art is what he's going to live for now, because he doesn't want to just die as a druggie. It was a huge lesson. I feel like he had an ego death. I feel like I've had small doses of that, and I kind of understand where he's coming from. But I feel like that moment was when he really knew that he had to really take music seriously, because he was already in a band, he was already performing, but he wasn't taking it that seriously. As a teenager, he would ride scooters and actually be in competitions, which I thought was funny because I was listening to him while I was riding scooters. Crazy coincidence. But he has actually had many moments where he was close to death or he got a really bad injury. If you see his first album, I mean all of his albums, he sings about death a lot. Even the song Hurt, that was around his injury and getting badly hurt. I think he's had a lot of close encounters with death, specifically the LSD trip. It kind of seems like he had this obsession with dying. And when I've watched, his videos, his interviews, I just feel like, especially the acid trip, I think that was the moment where he really told himself, I know that I could die any day and I have to make the most of it. I have to make my music. I have to make my art. And he even said in an interview, I understand on a cellular level, art is my God. And it saved me too. So when I look at his work, yes, I can see the humor, I can see the jokes, I can see the silliness, but I also see this undertone of sadness. It's like a crying kid trying to act tough. The bright, chaotic, funny, silly worlds that he created that made people laugh, that made him a meme, somewhat of a joke. Those worlds were somewhat like his armor over his pain. If you believe that artists like him deserve to be remembered as more than a meme, please feel free to subscribe. Let's keep his memory alive together. So the crazy part of this entire thing, he always had issues with his label, and he was always trying to protect his music. And for his last album, his record label didn't want to give him any funding at all after he made so much money through them. He made a video complaining about it, and his fans came in and hustled and messaged, and he ended up actually leaving his label for the first time. I'm just going to take another drink because I am roasting. I'm not sure if you can see all the sweat, but I am very sweaty. It's over 90 degrees here. I'll let you see Lisbon for a second. Beautiful. Okay. Enough peeking. I'm going to talk to you guys about going to his concerts, because I actually went to 2 of his concerts by myself. The first one was at Outside Lands. So I saw Oliver Tree at Outside Lands and I was so excited. I went to the front. Oh my gosh. I'm not kidding when I say this. I have never in my life been so squeezed like canned tuna at an event ever. Everyone was like very pushy and I actually felt like I couldn't move. Like it was just shoulder to shoulder. I wasn't smoking anything, but I was feeling stuff. Green stuff that was in the air. And it was making me paranoid because I was by myself getting squished like a can of tuna. But when Oliver Tree was playing, I tried to just focus and beam my energy towards that. The show was great, but I will say that I had this feeling like the audience was only there to get him as a meme or get a video of him doing Life Goes On. I didn't sense that they were fans. Like, they all seemed a bit douchey and pushy, which I hated. But when I saw him at the Warfield, where he was the main headliner, the crowd was absolutely amazing. I actually think I wore this outfit when I was seeing him. No one was pushy. Everyone was super kind. I was literally just singing to his songs. I was like, that's Oliver Tree's crowd. That's like his real people. Like, they're the aliens that totally understand Oliver Tree, and the people that were at Outside Lands were like snooty people who just needed to get a picture of him or get a meme, or, you know, like, I could sense the difference. Basically, what I'm coming at from this is that I feel like there are two groups of people. There's one group that put him into a meme, into the box of just being a joke, someone to laugh at, and they didn't take him seriously. There's another group of people who, like me, who saw him as a true artist, and they could see past the funniness and goofiness, and they could see the true creativity and brilliance of his music, of his films and his music videos, because I truly felt like he was one of the most intentional artists of his generation. Now, I don't really want to go too much into did he predict this would happen? He always talks about death. To me, he lived his life to the fullest, and he always wanted to make the most out of everything. But I did want to mention that he set up a foundation for when he died. He didn't want his family to get anything. It was a foundation called Art Grants for Baby Geniuses, for people that had the soul and the spirit that Oliver Tree had. And he's made so many friends in the music industry, and no one can say anything bad about him, which makes me so, so happy to hear, because I know that that industry can be so corrupt and people can have these inflated egos. I never sensed a big ego with him. I think he was a jokester and he took his art very seriously, but people would take that in a different perspective. He spent his whole life giving people like us permission to be weird, to be loud, to be authentic, to be colorful. And after hearing about his death, it makes me want to be even more loud and more colorful and truly express myself to the core. The truth is, we never know. We don't know when we're gonna go. So I feel like I'm finally coming out. I am a colorful rainbow alien. I've always felt like I was from a planet with a lot of rainbows, bright neon lights and colors. Everyone's just dancing and in a really good mood. I also feel like I was from a planet with dolphins swimming around, because I would always draw dolphins as a little girl. I would draw dolphins, clouds, and rainbows all the time, and galaxies and stars. And I felt like Oliver Tree would always just give me permission to be my weird alien self. I feel like Oliver sort of passed me the baton to be crazy and weird and colorful and not even care. By the way, I made a very funny reel of me singing to Alien Boy, which I will link. And it's just the first step of me just stepping out of my cocoon. But I am also passing the baton to you. I want you to be creative. I want you to express yourself. I want you to do something that you wouldn't normally do. Maybe create a children's book, play piano, go dancing, dance in your room by yourself. Maybe put a karaoke song from YouTube on and sing it. Make the most of this moment. Enjoy life. Be weird. Express yourself. So this is me. Oh my God, I'm getting emotional. This is me leaving my cocoon. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Sorry. I was not expecting to get emotional. Oh my God. This is me leaving my cocoon and embracing my true self. And I just want to thank Oliver Tree for helping me be my true self and embrace my true weird self that I've always felt inside. And I hope that you can do it too. I hope that his memory can live on in the most positive way, and that his death causes a positive change. So please go out there, make something meaningful. Tell me what you plan to do. Honestly, I'm curious. I want you to make art. I want you to live your life and enjoy it to the fullest, please. So thank you. I am so sorry that I got really emotional at the end. I really was not expecting that. Thank you for being here with me. It means a lot, and I feel like I can finally be comfortable enough to open myself up and be my true self in front of you. So thank you so much. Thank you. Nothing but love on my end. Thank you so much.